we go.
You are about to opt in to Monerotopia, a show for the Monero community where all are welcome to join. From noob to maxi, no matter what bags you hold. Just sit back and relax to the sweet sounds of Monero's latest progress. Or if you're feeling inspired, join us on stage. Remember, the only thing that can stop Monero is a false belief that it can be stopped. And if you want to win the revolution faster, we recommend you remove your XMR from all custodial exchanges immediately. Warning, voting accidents are common around here. Don't forget to properly secure your private keys. Monerotopia starts now.
All right. Successful launch. What's going on, Tux?
What's up? I'm here.
Our new guest co-host for the next couple of weeks. Sunita is taking a break, which is nice for all of us. She needs a little break.
She's just tired. Somehow she was tired of Monerotopia show.
I think she's tired of me, more so dealing with me than the show itself. So we'll give her space. Oh no, are you breaking up? No, you're okay, right? Tux, are you okay on that? I'm seeing it's like a little slow.
Here we go. I think I'm.
Yeah, maybe don't do video. Right? What do you think?
I'm just gonna keep it for now. Yep.
Okay. So what's going on, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm on vacation right now, and as you can probably already tell, the internet situation is not great. But I am working with what I have. So.
Well, if we can make it work in this scenario, then once you get back to your.
Oh yeah, it'll be smooth. It'll be great. It'll be perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, let's jump right into it. So yeah, Tux is going to be the co-host for the next couple of weeks. Greatly appreciate that, man, for stepping up and doing this.
Of course.
Let's kick it off.
I appreciate the opportunity. All right, so we're going to go next to the segment with Bawdy, the price report.
Sweet, let's do it.
The Monerotopia Price Report segment is sponsored by Local Monero. Avoid using KYC exchanges. Buy and sell Monero directly for fiat, peer-to-peer.
Bawdy, what's going on, man? Hello.
Do I need to add the charts?
Oh yeah, go ahead and add his charts. But Bawdy, can you hear us?
Yes.
I don't know if Bawdy can hear us, or maybe he doesn't know that he's on right now. Bawdy, yo.
Morning, gents. Hey.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
yep.
we
hear you.
Yeah.
We got you.
Sorry, I sent you a message that I had to duck out for like 3 minutes to grab my coffee. They just delivered it. So.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Yep, I see it now.
You sound like you need a coffee, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I just woke up. I'd like to try and blame Uber or something, but it's just totally on me.
You don't make your own coffee, man? We gotta send you some gratuitous over there.
Yeah, I know. Appreciate it.
I
gotta buy a machine, and I get my process down and all this stuff, and it's just easier to press some buttons on screen.
Wow. Yeah, I thought you were. I took you as a make your own coffee type of guy.
I'm an electrical guy, not a chemist, bro. I just can't do it.
Buddy, you want to jump? You want to do your thing, or should we come back to you?
Why don't we come back to me? I'm set up, but I just need to get my
let's let Bawdy have it. Let's let Bawdy have his.
Okay. Yeah, you need
like
your
he's
coffee,
in dire
man.
need right now. We'll jump to. We'll do
the dev report. All right, let's do it.
And now for the Monero development segment.
Is Dgoon up?
Is he here? I don't even know if he's here.
Dgoon's not even in here. This is hilarious.
Let's
bring on the guest. Well, all we have for we have
Monerable. Monerable's like
we have
in
Monerable.
the
We're waiting
he's on the side. Oh, Dgoon's here.
Dgoon's
I'm gonna
here.
Dgoon. Let's go. Dgoon.
Oh, hey.
Sorry to bombard you.
No, I'm just getting my camera, my mic set up. What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. What's up? How's it going?
Jump into the dev report here.
Bawdy wasn't quite ready, so
Bawdy needs a coffee.
Okay, let me get my slides up. I was having some issues. Yeah, should be good to go. How are y'all doing?
Good, man. Good.
we're doing all right.
We got Tux in the driver's seat. We're dealing with technical.
It's already falling apart. It's already falling apart.
No, you're doing good, man. This is a good test. Trial by fire. You're dealing with the issues as they pop up.
Oh, just hop into it.
Yeah. If you don't mind, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing really well. I feel like I'm getting into a groove with everything I'm working on. So, just trying to be consistent. That's the hard part.
Yeah, I hear you. Right, like sticking with it is the tough part, right?
Yeah, showing up and doing the work every day.
Well, yeah, I think it's working out, right? You're seeing some growth with your projects.
Yeah.
What are you most focused on right now?
I'm focused on launching my new SMS like phone service, like Phantom phones. I'm really working on it right now. Let me show you. So working on this right now. Hardware is tough, as I'm sure you're aware of.
Wait, hold on. Show me that. What is this now?
So basically, this
I'm getting a little echo, by the way. I don't know if that's
my mic is not positioned correctly. Is that better?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, is that okay?
Yep.
But yeah, basically, this is I want to operate a phone service that lets you pretty much rent out phones from me to receive text from. So this is an actual module that will receive the text. This will process it and then send it to a web server for you to look at.
Oh, but it's like a real phone number.
Yeah, it's a real legitimate SIM card that you put in here. Like, and its hardware is good. God, I feel like I've aged 10 years from doing this. But yeah, basically, you put a real SIM card in here, and then it sends a text message, and then uploads it to a server for you to look at. So that's the new thing I'm working on. Hardware is terrible, but sorry for the hardware lovers out there. I don't mean to offend you, but
no, is this
like
a new? Has anybody done this yet? This is interesting.
Oh yeah, there was a service I believe somewhere in Europe, Krypton phone that did it, and I don't know. The report saying that people liked it. Then I don't know like what happened, but the people like, oh, it's not working anymore. My phone doesn't work anymore. So I don't know what's the current status of it, but it has been attempted in the past.
And now, how is this different than like what are the other comparable solutions? What are the options people have out there?
Oh, there's like one standard way is just get your own burner phone, which can be expensive and like no one wants to maintain a phone all day. Maybe someone does, but you want a little more convenient, you would go with this option. There's also some services that let you say you want to sign up for Twitter, right? But with Twitter Blue requires or Twitter check mark, whatever it's called these days, requires a phone number just for verification. There are services that offer you that, but they don't rent you the whole phone, so it's not really good if you want to like actually have that same phone number to go check back into over the course of several days or several weeks, right? So if you want to like sign to Twitter Blue, have a phone that you use just for that, or use it for all your services. If it's Google, Facebook, or Twitter, God, I hope you're not using Facebook. But any service that you're using that requires a phone number, you can have one just set up just for that. And the price point's gonna be I think like 10 to 15. I think we'll see. Maybe the way hardware goes, I might have to raise the price because I keep messing things up. So
it's only gonna be like
budget.
10 to $15.
Yeah, like maybe like per month, or maybe I don't know. We'll see. Hardware is expensive.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, man. Make sure you don't lose money on this operation. You're amazing, man. So now you're messing around with hardware. You went for like,
we'll see.
You, brother. Amazing.
But yeah, how's Monero going? Is it?
Well, I'm not a hardware guy by any means, or maybe I am, but I've never tried. But Abdullah has been running with it. It seems to be going well. I mean, we're supposedly still on track for having a prototype that will be at MoneroKon. So it's doing well. We got some orders. People have been ordering. I haven't really been pushing it super hard yet because I want to make sure everything is, on target before I like really, try to get people to jump on it. But we've had I think almost like 10 orders so far.
Oh wow, that's really good pre-sale.
Yeah, I want to get it up to like 25, and that will give me the confidence. Because as you know, there's a lot of risk involved, right? So like, hardware is expensive. Like you said, these things are particularly expensive. Like there's very little margin there. We're not like pricing these things. I think we basically have to sell 100 to reach break even. I think.
Oof.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because the whole concept here, the whole idea here is to make nodes very accessible, right? So they're not going to be accessible if we charge, $1,000 for somebody to buy this piece of hardware. So we're trying to set the price as low as possible. We've had people reach out to us that want the hardware, that want to use it actually for a Bitcoin node. I won't go into names, but some very well-known company that currently does nodes for the Bitcoin community wants to use this hardware. So Abdullah must be onto something. He picked the right tech because people are interested in it. So
beautiful. The specs are amazing on it.
Yeah. So we might try to partner with them because then that would allow us to basically order more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if they go and use it for their own. Ideally, it would be awesome if we had some partnership where they kind of agreed to put a Monero node on the device that they're selling, or vice versa. Maybe we add, a Monero Bitcoin node app to the Monero Nodo, right? So make it also easy to run a Bitcoin node. But I don't know how that's going to work with the current constraints of the hardware. So, but yeah, it's promising that they're interested in the actual hardware that he's managed to source and put together. So I think that means we're on the right track.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. There's a lot of business going on. I saw that Vic from Cake Wallet hit 5,000 sales on Cake Web. Also,
yeah.
There's a lot of motion being in profit and business being made here. It's beautiful to see.
Yeah, and I saw somebody was tweeting out I wonder if coin cards, if Monero will be the top used, finally breach and be the top in the US, and coin cards kind of responded with the wink. So it seems like we saw some decent movement there. So yeah, it's exciting, guys. It's working. We're getting traction.
It's beautiful to see. What's Sunita? Did I miss where Sunita is?
Sunita's taking a break, so that's kind of
after Monerotopia.
That's kind of the deal we made. She's trying to pull away. I'm trying to keep her in. I gotta let go. I gotta let her go.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Like I was telling Tux, it's not the show, it's more so dealing with me. So she needs a break. She's hanging out right now, making some breakfast, chilling with my daughter. Everything's good.
Oh, that makes sense.
Cool, man. But yeah, let's go ahead and do the dev report. What do you have for this week?
I have some. I guess some. I uploaded the wrong one. Sorry, but this one's gonna be.
Oh, that was from last week. Yep.
Yeah, this is gonna be a little sad. Not as my usual. It's about 527. Not the usual happiness that I usually bring to the table about new things being talked about. This one's gonna be about a bug, unfortunately, because it's been a rough couple of weeks since Monerotopia. We had the Ledger stuff fiasco, and they're one of the biggest providers of Monero wallets, right? Hardware wallets, at least. But that wasn't good news. And then we get a couple. I think this week we have a big. Well, not a big, but a privacy issue. I'm uploading slides right now, and it's just been a rough couple weeks. But I'm going to be talking today about a Monero privacy bug issue. Is it uploading the slides? Come on. Oh yeah, can you put the slides up?
Oh yeah, Tux, you got the slides?
Yep, there we go.
That's the right one.
Is that the right one? Sweet.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry about my mistake. I know I'm not making your job any easier.
No, you're all good, man.
Basically, what I'm going to be talking about today, sad news. Don't be alarmed, but there was a 3-year Monero privacy bug that existed in the code base for roughly 3 years. And it was patched, I believe, a month ago, maybe a couple weeks ago. And I'm just going to review that bug, what this means for the space as a whole, what this means for users in this space, if you use Monero for privacy, what this means for wallets in this space, et cetera, et cetera. It's going to be a really quick overview. Don't be too alarmed. It's not as bad as it might appear at first. So just bear with me for a moment. This is just a summary. So this is where most of my resource came from about the actual write-up. Is Jeffro256. I've never actually heard of Jeffro256 before this post, but there are Monero core devs that actually gets funded, I believe, to work on Monero, which is really cool. So maybe you could do an interview with them, Doug. I don't think I've seen an interview with Jeffro256 yet. But
yeah, I don't think. But when I read his name, I almost thought that was JT Grassi, but I think it's a different.
Yeah, it's new characters every day. But
yeah, I've seen him around though. But yeah, I've never. I don't know if he's willing to come on the show publicly. But yeah, it would be awesome.
So yeah, Jeffro did a great write-up with assistance from the core team, of course. And the severity for this one was high, but like don't get too worried. It's not. I think they rate things to like not to say like overrate things, but like they want to be. If you're gonna rate things, you would rather say that it's worse than it actually like might be for certain people. So you don't want to underrate things when it comes to severity. So don't be too alarmed. Just update your wallet, and you should be okay. And basically, it was an impact to the sender anonymity for funds that you sent, and when they were exactly 10 blocks old. So it's not all the funds; it's the funds involved in this particular. Oh. Someone's saying 0.6% of transactions are affected, and the only thing that could be de-anonymized was a sender address. Interesting. I don't know who MB is, but that's interesting right up in the report.
Monero Bull. Yeah, we'll have him on in a second.
Oh, so Monero Bull. So that stat wasn't in the specific blog post. So I'm going to trust Monero Bull for that. So they say 0.6 of transactions are affected. So I imagine they're in the dev channel chat getting updated information. So please keep correcting me, Monero Bull, if I say anything that's out of date. I made this last night based upon the report right here. But let's get a little more details into it. Basically, very high level overview of why this happened. If you're new to Monero uses ring signatures to hide the privacy of some of the transactions information. And the way that it does that is it takes different transactions and it mixes the outputs together, so it's really hard to tell which output you actually spit. And right now, that output mixture, it takes for every one real output that you spin, it takes 15 from the blockchain. And this is actually revolutionary technology. It's one of the best non-interactive ways of mixing. So you can think of it as a non-interactive Bitcoin mixer, if that's something that you're familiar with. But hopefully, if you're here, you know all the tech. So I don't need to go over that too long. But basically, when you send a transaction Monero, it takes your transaction output and mixes it with 15 other transactions so that you can hide in the crowd and they can't tell which output you're actually spending. But the issue with this one is there was an issue where the software not never but rarely chose a 10 block old decoy. So basically, when Monero picks decoys, there's this whole algorithm that's based upon how it picks decoys, right? So it doesn't just randomly pull from the blockchain. There's a distribution that you have to actually follow to make them look real, right? Because if you were to pick one from all the existence, you wouldn't pick any new ones, essentially. So there's a specifically tuned algorithm that chooses decoys to make them look real. And there was a bug.
The concern is you want to show that most decoys are coming from. You don't want them to be just from recent transactions, right?
Yeah, you want them to look real.
Right.
So that people tend to spin more heavily rated towards new, but not always. So you have to. This is a super complicated algorithm that's been refined over years.
Yeah, very.
If you want to read more about that, you can find some more information online. I can link something for Doug in the show notes. But basically, right, you don't want them to be random. They have to be specifically tuned to look real. So some old ones, some medium ones, and some really new ones. But there was a bug where the algorithm ignored decoys that were exactly 10 blocks old, right? So that would mean that if you were spinning your wallet, like if you were in Monerotopia, for example, and you had your wallet and you were waiting exactly until your funds unlocked so that you could spin, that means that decoys were never or rarely chosen that actually looks like there were actually 10 block decoys. So if a transaction had a decoy that was exactly 10 blocks, not 9, not 11, but exactly 10 blocks old, you lost some privacy from that, essentially. Right. And it's a
Crazy. Like, you were saying, kind of some bad. I don't see this as bad news, man. I know I'm the ultimate Monero maxi or whatever, but I always see, like, somebody caught this. Smart people are constantly looking at it, right? And now we're fixing it. So
yeah, it's a shame it's been an issue, but it looks like it's affected very small amount of potential transactions, and it's already been patched as far as I know on like Cake Wallet and Stack Wallet and stuff. So they're all using the latest version of Monero, so I think it's non-issue now.
Yeah, so don't, like I said, this isn't, I know it has a high severity, but don't go, oh my God, it's over. Like, no. It's a small bug that affected a small percentage of people. So let's get into it. How bad was it? I didn't notice the 0.6 transactions percentage, but the severity rating was high. And then the actual report says devastating for sender anonymity with 10 block old true spins. So, that's what they put in the report. I think they're going for the side of, like, being overly cautious versus being under cautious.
Right.
So,
and also when we say for noobs out there, when we say devastating, I mean it's revealing the send. It's not revealing the amount. It's not revealing other
the recipient.
The recipient. Correct. It's just breaking the ring signature component of that one transaction where you may have been the unfortunate person who selected a decoy from 10 blocks ago, right?
Yeah, but the really cool thing,
where your true spend was from 10 blocks old.
Exactly 10, not 9, not 11, but it had to be exactly 10. So
right. And how often was that? Do we know how often that was happening? Like,
I think there is reports pretty recent, but there was a graph that showed, like, when they patched it, what the distribution looked like versus what it looked like before, and it didn't seem like it was too It wasn't like a major deal, but there's not exact data yet that I saw. Maybe someone else in the crowd or in the talk might be, have their ear closer to the ground than me. Okay. But the good news is that this bug was specifically in the Monero, like, official GUI wallet, but as you know, there are other wallets. So apparently, based on the report, some wallets were not affected by this issue. Maybe someone is running custom software. Someone's doing something, just custom that's not in the Monero. It might be Further Wallet. It might be Cake Wallet. I'm not too sure about where this wallet that was not affected. But them not being affected means that you still have Monero's privacy when it comes to deniability, right? Because these wallets were actually creating decoys that were 10 block old true spins. So you can't look at the blockchain and say, oh, that's a 10 block old true spin, because some wallets were actually using that as decoys, right? So diversity in this aspect actually helps save a lot of the privacy aspects of it, right? So it's not too bad, take it with a grain of salt. It's getting patched, and the numbers I'm seeing, 0.6% transaction percentage, not bad at all.
And now to be clear once again, and now it is fixed, and all the
it is fixed.
Your wallet providers have updated their code and are
Like, man, I hate having these conversations because it's like people are gonna, like, take it on Twitter. I'm gonna see some Zcash people tweeting about it. I'm like, that's just
no, that's reality. And we talk, like I said, this is the healthy sign of a healthy open source project, right? Everybody's talking about it out in the open and fixing it.
Yeah,
but talking about what the real ramifications are.
I really respect the devs too, because they're very open, and from my perspective, they actually are overly, not the word's not cautious, but they don't minimize issues, right? They're known, if anything, for going the opposite direction. I really respect that from the devs for being honest, right? Because it's like, something goes wrong, everyone wants to point fingers, but there's a lot of people being like, oh, this happened for this is how bad it is, and it's really, really cool to see. I really respect the devs in this, and I think they handled the situation well also. And how could this be fixed? Just in the short term, you could upgrade your software, of course. That's what you should do, right? But now there's the patches out there. Some people are running patch nodes. Even if you don't upgrade your software, which you should do, you should upgrade your software. The impact will definitely be reduced also, because someone out there is running updated software, right? So it gives you a crowd you can hide in. So not a major issue in my personal opinion. Long term, right? Like, Monero's had so much work on the getting bigger and better decoy selection algorithms, bigger ring sizes in context of Seraphis and those other projects. it's so much work being done. I also have a question about that, Doug. Do you know when the video? Because Monerotopia was awesome. I know y'all doing a lot of video. Do you know when the videos would be out so I can start referencing them in things?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna start releasing them kind of one at a time. I think we should have the first one drop any day now.
Because
we'll put them out in order of the conference, maybe like one every 2 days or something.
Oh, that's gonna be so great. My favorite. I don't show bias, but Rucknum's report and presentation about like where Monero's going, where it sits at. I thought it was. Yeah.
I can't wait either because I missed pretty much all the talks because I was running around like a maniac. I'd only go in and like see part.
They're so good because I was incapacitated for a day, so you guys have so much good stuff coming. But like I said, there's so much work being done in making the decoy selection algorithm bigger, ring sizes, bigger and better. Essentially, in the long term, the issues like this won't have much of effect also. But like super long term, I think we can start looking at moving like super long term, moving away from Monero ring signatures because they do cause a lot of headaches for the devs. There are other technologies out there, but you have to be slow and methodical about how you go about that process. And there's many different things going on. I know Firo has some cool stuff that they talked about at MoneroKon or Monerotopia. Sorry. There's a bunch of long-term solutions out there, but you have to be slow and methodical about implementing them. But they will hopefully help reduce issues like this also. And then speaking of Doug, I mean, anyone like Doug has so much content out there. It is actually mind-blowing because you actually have an episode with, I believe, Justin. And they actually, because Justin was one of the people who first discovered the major issues in the Monero decoy selection algorithm. And they, I think, this was like, was it 2019, Doug? I'm not sure the year.
When he did, I think it was 2020. I don't know.
2020. But yeah, so it's basically, if you watch this video, it basically covers issues like this and will prepare you a lot if you wonder what's going on. It's really accessible. One of my favorite episodes that Doug's done on Monero Talk. It's a great episode. So I recommend you Google this one if you want to dive into something that's a little more accessible and the issues about Monero decoy selection algorithm, things like that, essentially. I think that's all that I have today. And like I said, if you want to keep super up to date, the devs have weekly meetings where they talk about all this stuff, like mostly every week. I think they might miss a week every now and then, but like you can literally get straight into the devs and see what they're talking about. Like Doug said, this is how open protocols work. No one's hiding anything. They're chatting in the open, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, everything's fine. Please don't be too alarmed. I hate having these conversations. I want to be honest though and straightforward. Any questions?
No, man, that's fantastic. I'm glad you chose this topic this week.
Yeah, I from my great intelligence, I have an ear to the ground, doing some deep research. Doug asked me to cover it, so that's what because I also wanted to cover the ledger stuff. I was like, man, like.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. There's always a lot happening, right? But
there's so much stuff happening.
I love that we added this dev report thing. You're doing an amazing job. Greatly appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. It's super nuanced, super hard to try to condense like super nuanced topics down to something that like a 3-minute PowerPoint with like 4 slides.
But yeah, hey, it's impressive though.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoy it.
All right, buddy. Yeah, I think that covers it for now. Hopefully no more bad news next week.
No, I'm looking for some good news. I'm gonna talk about the Monero nose cake, some good news,
All right, brother. Let's keep it moving.
All right.
Dgoon, yeah, please stick around if you can. Otherwise we'll move on to I guess we'll jump back to the price report. Tux, you want to do that?
Yeah, we can. I'm gonna add Bawdy. I just messaged. I don't think he replied, but we'll see if he's actually here. Hey, Bawdy, oh, he says he's ready. All right, sweet.
Okay, you want to go ahead and replay the intro?
Let's do it.
Sorry about that.
Prime it.
The Monerotopia Price Report segment is sponsored by Local Monero. Avoid using KYC exchanges. Buy and sell Monero directly for fiat, peer-to-peer.
All right. How'd that coffee work out?
Yeah, feeling good. Price report take 2.
All right. What's going on? You had a rough night, or you just
No.
Okay.
Just slept in a little bit. I mean, I'm minus 2 hours to you guys, so
Yeah, no, That's
on a
true.
Saturday morning. It sometimes can be a little bit problematic, but no big deal. Sure. Thanks to Dgoon for getting on and being Johnny on the spot.
So yeah, jump in, man. I mean, I haven't been following price at all, really. What's going on? It seems like things are just kind of stagnating, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely well, for crypto at least, stocks have been going up. Like if we take a look at the NASDAQ, I mean, you can see the NASDAQ just totally broke out. One thing I've been seeing floating around Twitter is that apparently this is a minority of stocks. This is something like, I don't know, I want to say it's like 20% of stocks are responsible for this movement, and the rest of everything else is either flat or down. So
it's all the AI stuff.
Yeah, probably. Yes, it's all the AI bots trading, and also the AI companies. Yeah. Probably the AI bots trading the AI companies to make sure they go up. We're already in the Terminator revolution. We don't
shit. There it is. There's the first candle of the Terminator movement.
We're all going to be the poor plebs, and the AI is going to have all the money. They'll become the next Illuminati. Keep us around for their slave labor.
As long as they use Monero, we'll be okay.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Have us mine their rare earth metals and shit. So, yeah, in a lot of ways, I've kind of been telling my friends, like, you know, they got me good here because the market, like I've been saying for the past month, like, yeah, the crypto's kind of down, but macro seems stable. Things still seem like they're on their way up. But then we've got like, we've got Bitcoin, for example, versus the NASDAQ, and you can see it's just lost almost 20% of its value since right around mid-April. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the macro. Let's see what's going on there. First of all, we'll start with the dollar index. We talked about this for really for most of this period here that we were forming bullish positive divergence on the dollar index, which would be an indication that we were going to come up to the top side eventually. And sure enough, I was kind of hoping we'd get down here. That never really happened. At some point right here, I think it was a couple weeks ago, I said, yeah, I'm not confident that we'll actually make it this far anymore. And interestingly enough, the stock market has continued rising. At least the NASDAQ specifically has continued rising. The S&P is kind of lagging behind. We'll get to there in a minute. In terms of a little bit shorter time frame, my guess is that this move could potentially be running out of steam here for the Dixie. But that's not necessarily to say that it's completely done, but it is finally hitting some resistance spots. So we've got this line right there. And it's a little bit of a dubious line because, okay, I've connected these two top points, but, what about that guy right there? We could hypothetically try and find ways to draw this a little bit more shallow if we really wanted to. But at a minimum, it does seem like it's probably a relevant line to draw. There's probably some resistance, especially when we combine it with this line right here. So we're kind of looking at something that could be getting close to running out of steam. We'll come down to the 4-hour time frame, and you can kind of see that there might be a case to be made that we're starting to make a little bit of, oops, what did I just do there? That we might be making a little bit of bearish price divergence. It's not anything that I would say is completely, in the bag here, but it could be the beginning of a little bit of a turnaround here from Dixie after really pretty much since we got off the horn last time 2 weeks ago. It has just been on a tear here. So yeah, I mean, but that's still like it's still nothing too crazy. Like it's not a move that really inspires fear necessarily. But it is kind of, it's almost 5%. It's a 4% move right there. Okay, we've got yields. So yields seem to have returned to some bit of normality. So when yields are going up, usually that's because their values are going down, and their values are going down because people are moving out of bonds and into the stock market. Typically, that's how that happens. So yeah, we've seen the stock market rise or the NASDAQ rise be accompanied by the 10-year yield moving up. It's still kind of in this larger structure here. So obviously we broke out of this rising broadening structure. we're somewhat in a bit of a little bit of a wedge here on the way down now. I think this is probably likely to remain stable overall. The Fed might raise rates one more time, but apparently the market is betting on them actually lowering rates this year. We'll have to wait and see if that happens. I don't see massive systemic risk here in the markets, but I do see a growing, just like normal risk, right? Kind of like a downturn risk. I'm not confident the NASDAQ is going to keep doing what it's been doing. I think it's got some more room to go, but we're getting close to some important levels. We've got the repurchase agreements here, and oh, I guess I'm kind of showing you guys something that I'll just erase that for now. There we go. Okay, so that's some of the stuff I want to show you guys later. Like, I think maybe in a few weeks here I can start showing you guys that. At any rate, basically we've got standard deviations here at the top that are kind of sort of limiting this. We've also got just our regular pleb lines here. This looks like something that might want to break to the top side, but it's had kind of 1, 2, 3 chances to do it, and it's not doing it. So that's not entirely too surprising though, because fundamentally speaking, the Fed is probably about done raising rates. They're probably very close to it. Maybe they've got another quarter percentage to raise. But at any rate, yeah, we'll just have to see how this plays out. Even if we do break this, it wouldn't surprise me just to continue going sideways. And I guess that would be fine. That would kind of spell more, let's just call it mud for crypto markets probably, or for markets in general. But at any rate, that looks stable. Let's see, gold. Gold is also hitting some important support. So we kind of peaked out here. It's like a big spot overall. There's like a lifetime resistance there to gold. And hopefully this line down here at the bottom can, excuse me, can remain relevant, right? Hopefully that can hold. We can come back to the top side. On a much larger time frame, I mean, gold just looks like it's strong. It looks fine. Like I mean, it's the Illuminati or whoever, like they don't really want you in gold. So I feel like everyone kind of, I mean, they've shown overall like that they try and suppress the gold price. I don't think it's necessarily just like only paper gold, and it's not just like I mean, people kind of like, oh my God, the gold depression, it's all controlled. I'm not really of that opinion necessarily, but they do what they can, right? They do what they can to make sure that it stays down, it stays out of the spotlight as much as they can. So anyways, yeah, I mean, we still got this upward channel. It's really a narrowing kind of channel, right? It's a bit of a rising wedge. If we had some like major systemic event, you could probably expect gold to actually break down to the bottom of this area again. But overall, I mean, we've got a gold chart that's going to continue going up, and this thing is ultimately going to break out to the top side. And that will probably correspond to like the next major bull market, right? What we have here is not really a major bull market, but it could happen. Let's see. The Federal Reserve balance sheet continues to decrease exactly like we've expected since that whole March saga. I would like to see this flatten out at some point, because the more that this continues going down, the more that I get concerned for the ability of this current miniature bull market to continue. Everything else here, I think we talked about this last week, but this is median home prices, and basically they've rebounded in the early part of this year, which is exactly what the sawtooth is. It's basically January, February, March, where housing prices are cyclical. After the winter season, they start bouncing back up. So that's, again, it's like that's not a sign of a systemic problem, right? If we were seeing this thing like continue to stay down here, that would be a sign of systemic issues. And there's some other things that I look at too. I'll show you one called Whirl. This is basically, it's not reverse repos, it's actually repurchase agreements with the Fed. And essentially, it's kind of an emergency lending facility that was established a long time ago. And when it spikes up and it stays up, like that's usually a sign of bad things to come. So in March, we spiked up, and that was definitely a concerning point, but it came right back down, and we've been low ever since. So again, systemic risk seems pretty low to me. One interesting thing that we have here on yields is that you can see in white, that's the Federal Reserve overnight funds rate. You'll notice that like in 2000 and then in 2008, that it got above everything else. And it kind of looked like we were heading there. But then as of late, at least the short-term yields have rebounded above the federal funds rate here in white. So that's an interesting bit of a reversal. And then we also have the yield curve inversion has started to come to the downside again. Like this thing is dropping again. This would be an indication that, hey, these markets are not going to crash. Like they've still got more to go. Especially if we see this thing make even further lows. It's crazy to me. They're pushing this harder and farther, it seems, than they've ever gone before. It would be good. It would sort of behoove me to try and look at some of the big ones that people look at, like the 2-year versus the 10-year, the 10-year versus the 30, specifically in isolation, because this pink line is a combination of everything. I subtract everything longer from everything shorter and then average it out so that I get like a really 30,000 foot view of what that looks like. But at any rates, yeah, all the rates have been coming up. And yeah, I mean, it makes sense because people would, I mean, if it was me and it was my money, I'd rather get something like 4.5% by putting, really it's more like 4.7%, by putting money with the overnight repurchase agreements at the Federal Reserve and getting like highly liquid cash, right? Because I'm getting basically the same percentage, almost the same percentage as the short-term stuff. And of course, we've got the default, the potential, not default, but the like the failure to raise the debt ceiling coming up here. I think that might be next week. Is it June 4th? If anyone else knows what that date is, when like the federal government will have to shut down or whatever. I'm not convinced that they'll actually solve it because it's entering election season, so they might, you know, grandstand a little bit. But at any rate, part of the reason that rates are going up here probably is because people are nervous about, hey, is the government going to actually, you know, meet its obligations, whatever. So they're selling bonds, which drives the rates up because now you have to offer a higher interest rate to get people to convince them to buy it. When you can also just put money with the Federal Reserve overnight repurchase facility and get a guaranteed percentage and then have your money totally liquid. So I think that sort of dynamic is a big factor in why we're not seeing, or sorry, why we're seeing this go up and sort of, at least for this part, sort of renormalize just slightly where the federal funds rate is below at least some of the shorter term interest rates. I think we talked about the NASDAQ. Here's the S&P. Basically, it kind of finally broke out of this like hard capping resistance that we've had really for most of the year. It's broken out of it kind of, but it's not like convincingly, you know, really off to the races. So I do think that whenever we hit this area right here, that will be a pretty significant resistance there for the S&P. And the NASDAQ, we kind of already looked at it, but we got some lines drawn on this chart right here. So we can see that this sort of ascending channel, it's now broken out to the top side. And this was an important area back in August, right? That was the August top last year. So the NASDAQ is definitely looking, it's looking strong, but I don't necessarily believe this breakout. I think it's probably got a little bit more to go. Maybe it can even make it all the way up here, but I just don't expect that it's going to go to new all-time highs. It's not really what I would think. I would think it will stall out here, kind of come back down, maybe get back into this area. Again, I do think that if the name of the game, I think, for sort of the controllers, you know, and the guys that run the financial system is stability. They want to keep things nice and positive and, you know, kind of sideways and then a little bit more positive. They want to just keep things as stable as they can. Already looked at gold. Let's we'll look at crypto overall, but now that you got the background for the macro, what's going on there, we could just take a look at Monero. So we're still in this like newly formed down channel. As let's go to the daily, that would be better. Okay, so yeah, we're still like, we kind of broke out of the final boss resistance, and then we just like dragged another line up here to the top, and that's kind of been relevant. We're just sitting here in this channel, and yeah, that just seems par for the course for how Monero tends to break resistances. Anything else in crypto, for the most part, you break this kind of stuff, and you know it's off to the races. Although I must say that a lot of the altcoins lately, as of the past few months, they do have kind of like similar things where they'll like break some downsloping resistance and then sort of kind of like end up still going down. So maybe Monero is not totally singular in that right now. It's just that it's not, you know, Bitcoin or Ethereum, one of the big dogs. If we were to look at the Z-scores, we could try and convince ourselves on the shorter time frame, especially, that we're seeing some kind of divergence here. So the green line just average, so slightly sloping up. You've got the yellow line, it's definitely kind of sloping up here. It looks like there's a very real potential that we could be forming some kind of divergence. You know, price has been slightly going down. So, you know, I mean, I do believe that if crypto in general ever gets off to the races again, if we get moving again here, Monero is going to, you know, the price should go up with everything else. It's kind of weird to me to see that Monero earlier this year, in March and April, made these levels, and then at this moment that we're down by, how much is it? I guess 7% is not that bad. Maybe I'm complaining a little bit too hard there. But at any rate, I mean, like, we've got, you know, let's go even to the shorter time frame and see if we can't pull out any signal here. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see it's downsloping, and then it might maybe have started a new uptrend. And we'll have to see. That's not entirely convincing, but it could be. We've made a nice little bottom here with Monero Bitcoin, Monero versus BTC. Maybe we don't have to actually, go down to this level down here. So that's like the weekly, right? So just the big broad top level view. But if we go down to daily, and we'll probably go down to the 4 hour. I think I want to say that I also saw, we definitely have some kind of divergence here going on with the Z-scores. So again, where we've got this sort of upsloping Z-scores, where price was kind of making slightly lower lows. So that's good. We kind of broke out of this like sort of downtrend thing here. I'm not really sure how useful that line is for us to look at anymore. But at any rate, the major line that we need to break is this guy right here. So that's been acting as sort of this capping resistance. It really doesn't, like you would say from just the pleb line perspective, and there's other ways of looking at it as well, but you would kind of look at this and say, well, it wouldn't necessarily have to break until, say, June or even July. And who knows what could happen by then, right? If this whole debt ceiling gets resolved, like I expect that the markets would probably take that pretty good, and probably crypto should respond pretty well. One thing I've seen on the divergences, and again, we really have to take this chart with a grain of salt. This is, it just hasn't been that reliable lately, and it used to be very reliable. But we have seen basically all of the exchanges diverge into positive prices, positive volume weighted prices over Kraken. So it does look kind of like they're accumulating, and that would be a bit unsurprising because prices have been negative, right? Crypto has been going down just ever so slightly, little by little, for the past 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks now. So as we say, at least my opinion is they like to accumulate Monero when things are quiet, people are fearful. It gives them the opportunity to sort of replenish their coffers that they can then use later when things are very positive to sell onto the market. To keep attention distracted from Monero, right? You want to develop this idea like, oh, Monero just doesn't perform well in bull markets, and it's kind of the same thing that they do to gold. In fact, it's crazy how gold will go up before the rest of the markets. That was a big signal for us in January that gold is already, like, it was already in an uptrend, and we say, well, that often indicates like the premonition of positive movement on stocks, and it seems like that tends to happen with Monero as well to a significant extent. So. Just things that I say to myself, it's interesting that the same playbook they used to suppress gold seems to be a similar playbook they used to suppress Monero. So what does that tell you about some of the people that might be involved in the crypto ecosystem? But I'm just preaching to the choir, so I'll let that one be for now. We've got also Monero Ethereum, and we've kind of like we're also forming positive divergence here. It's not exactly positive divergence because I guess a little bit, because this right here, we made a lower low on price where, we were seeing a little bit of upward momentum already for the Z-scores. Very light. This is all like subject to being validated the moment that crypto starts going on another bull run, if it does. I got to be honest, I have been feeling a little bit more nervous about keeping these crypto positions alive. There is the possibility that maybe we have reached some kind of temporary top, and it's the beginning of maybe a months long stagnation, a months long trip back down to the potentially that regression analysis, right? The red line here. I do expect we're going to touch this red line, fully touch this red line at some point. It could be next year, right? This thing could just kind of continue doing this, and maybe next year we touch it like at 20,000 or something. One thing that I need to do, I was looking at this yesterday. I realized that I need to actually redraw this yellow line. So the yellow line represents the non-bubble data. If you remove all of these peaks here, and there's like a very sort of algorithmic way that we do that to make sure that we're not like losing relevant data. But by now, so I only included data from for this yellow line from before this cutoff point right here. I haven't integrated any of the recent bear market data, and we've got like almost 360 days now of data. So I need to, we got a whole year of data. So I need to sort of recalculate this yellow line. It's going to move down some. But maybe I'll show that to you guys next week if I can manage to get to that. So crypto, last thing we'll look at here is crypto. We got Bitcoin. Why don't we look at, do we have Bitcoin and ETH? We had it over here. Here we go. Yeah, so we got Bitcoin and Ethereum together. I like to look at them together now. Overall, we're still kind of like in this big broad structure. We're at this moment, we're sitting at a pretty important support point. The August highs, right? That August top, that's really like a crucial pivot area. It seems like, hey, we got above, this lower area right here. We should be, off to the races. I guess, in a lot of ways it makes some kind of sense here because that's where we capped out back at this time last year, right? So for May of last year, we capped out at this spot. So I guess it's not too surprising that we touched that and then came back down. But there's so much to look at that. Yeah, I mean, it was there. It was there to be seen. I guess the hopium in me, and also the fact that the stock market still looked good, and that what's it called, macro still looked good, had me thinking, all right, well, there's a chance here that we could kind of do one of these things. And I was really hoping that we would be more in this area at this moment. But that's not to say that we can't just overcome, right? By we, I mean everyone here that loves Ethereum so much, right? But the crypto sector as a whole, Bitcoin, Ethereum. I mean, I kind of like Ethereum. I'm not gonna lie, confession time, I guess. But anyways, like, there's a reasonably good chance we could hold this area.
What's in that coffee, bro? It's a truth serum.
I mean, hey, Ethereum's got the stable coins, and the stable coins helped to save my ass during the bear market. So, like, what do you want? It worked for me.
It's got some utility for sure.
I mean, it's like the dirty fiat that I sold into back in 2021. Like, it's been useful, right? I've had the opportunity to spend it. So
let's be honest.
We're working towards replacing the system, but we make the compromises where we have to.
Exactly.
But this thing right here, this could hold. Like, this could hold. We would hope to see this hold and start going up at some point. That doesn't mean it has to. If this breaks down, I really don't like that. I mean, we'll have to try and hope that this lower line here holds, but man, it's not a good sign.
With the kind of the recent uptake with ordinals on Bitcoin, have we seen energy kind of get sucked out of the Ethereum ecosystem a little bit and moved into Bitcoin for those purposes, NFTs and all that?
No, I mean, it doesn't look like it. Ethereum, at least from a price perspective, it looks like Ethereum is still, like, this is strong. This is a good chart, especially if we go towards the weekly. I mean, you can just see that this thing bounced up. The volatility has been dropping off, kind of like a bit of a sideways triangle here. And let's go to the daily. Yeah, I mean, overall, there's kind of this triangle developing, and Ethereum, as you see on the Z-scores, as we've been talking about for the past couple months, has this positive bullish divergence, like, very clear. So we'll have to see. Like, you'd want to see this thing break out of this triangle and then go to the upside. But overall, like, no, I don't see Ethereum having lost a whole lot of steam relative to Bitcoin. This was where the great stake unlock of 2023 was supposed to destroy Ethereum and make Bitcoin rise to the penultimate position for all of eternity, but that just didn't happen. And that was the time for that to happen. So, I mean, honestly, this looks like a chart that could easily break to the upside here at some point.
Interesting. All right, man.
I don't think Ethereum is that, like, I don't think Bitcoin is that great for tokens anyways. Like, I had an idea to recreate a very popular shitcoin on Bitcoin. It had already been done, actually. It's been done like 4 times over. But there's no contract functionality there. Like, you can't do anything. You can't issue tokens or, like, put yield or inflation or locking, none of that stuff. You could just, like, make a token that says, hey, my name is what? And then it's like, okay, I guess people buy it because it's named a thing, but it doesn't actually do anything. Like, it's
right. So it's just kind of like simple NFT token. Yeah, it doesn't have the usability that ERC20 tokens have, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah. I mean, they've got their NFTs, they've got their BRC20, but it's like, there's just no functionality there. So maybe they'll get the roll-ups going at some point. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because it's also controversial, right? There's a lot of people, I guess, in Bitcoin that don't even want this taking place. But it is. I think it's good for Bitcoin, to be honest.
I respect the guys that don't like it, because there's a lot of guys saying, it's like, it doesn't matter what happens, everything is good for Bitcoin. Like, even if the chain, like, even if there's an inflation bug and the chain just crashed and burned, they'd be like, no, but this is good for Bitcoin. Like, that's what some people would say. So I at least have the respect for the guys that recognize, hey, this is not being digital freedom money. But at the same time, most of those guys, I hear them, they're just, like, upset. They're like, y'all shouldn't be doing this, and that's bad. It's like, well, hey, best money on earth. Unstoppable tech, go fix your tech, right? Like, that's the answer there.
Yeah, that's kind of like them being, upset that chain analysis companies exist. Like, it's not fair. These companies are tracing our blockchain. like, all right, well then, change up your tech, and they won't be able to do that. I kind of see it as the same situation. If anything, I think it's also kind of bullish for Monero, right? Because Monero further defines itself as being true digital cash, right? So it kind of pivoted away from ordinals, whereas Bitcoin has been unable to do that, and it's embraced them.
It's kind of funny to hear how the long-term security budget problem that didn't exist is now suddenly solved.
Right. It wasn't a problem in the first place, but thank God for ordinals, because it solved it.
Satoshi knew 12 years ago that they were going to need NFTs to solve the security budget.
All right, man. All good stuff. But I mean, this and I guess you've kind of said this already, but this should be kind of a good time for Monero to slowly creep up, right? As when the entire market's down, this is usually when we see Monero creep up a little bit against Bitcoin.
I think at a minimum we're stable. Oh yeah, especially versus Bitcoin, there's the opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, the chart structure kind of keeps us capped right here at the moment. So I'm not really convinced that this. I mean, it could break out, right? It could break to the upside. I'm not convinced that it will, though. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. It looks to me from a U.S. dollar perspective, Monero seems to have a pretty reasonable, good stability. At least it has for the past couple weeks. So, I mean, it's likely just to be more and more boring. Let me show you guys one more thing. So this is Bitcoin versus the NASDAQ. And we had talked last week about there's like a head and shoulders that kind of happened here. And so if you were to take the target from that head and shoulders, which is, it's not entirely a straight line, but it would be somewhere between here and here. So, wait, no, that's not true. What did I do there? I almost lied to you guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, there we go. So the target is getting pretty close to being made. Like hypothetically, it would be somewhere around this dotted line right here. I don't remember why I drew that dotted line. It's probably important somewhere else. But at any rate, we're pretty close to that target. So we could be looking in the next, say, 1 to 4 weeks at a bottoming of Bitcoin versus and overall crypto versus the NASDAQ versus the stock market. So we could see some kind of rebound here to the upside. Anyways, I say that because when we talk about the Monero versus Bitcoin ratio, in my mind now, I just think, okay, when crypto's up, the ratio is flat or down. So I'm still, I'm not selling my positions yet, or at least the hodl portion of my positions are still in play. But I might be a little bit more putting my finger on the trigger in case things start looking bad. But at the same time, if they solve the debt crisis, quote unquote, that'll probably give us some more upward positive action overall.
All right, you know where I stand.
Hodl.
Just
don't be a stupid degen trader.
Hodl and use, head down and build, right?
Indeed, sir.
I mean, the ignoring price, I feel like Monero feels stronger than ever in terms of people actually using. The community feels like it's growing. So all good indications there.
I mean, our transaction counts look nice in green here. They've, we hit over 30,000 during Monerotopia, and then we're still above 20,000. Do we have another 2 minutes? I wanted to talk about the transactions.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, wrap it up with that.
So as you can see at the top left here, this is Litecoin, Doge, Bitcoin Cash, and Monero. And I just want to point something out here about Litecoin. Notice how it's just been stable at a 90 to 100,000 transactions. And then as soon as the ordinals thing hit and the NFTs and the BRC20s, Litecoin magically, everyone just adopted Litecoin. They went from 100,000 to 600,000 transactions. Bitcoin doesn't, if you even tried to make the argument that, people are leaving Bitcoin for Litecoin because, it's clogged and because of NFTs, which is about 3/4 true, but it's not entirely true. But at any rate, Litecoin, did you really actually go up that much, right? And then we've got Dogecoin. Did Dogecoin really go from 20,000 transactions to 1 million and do a 50x? I don't think so. I don't think that Doge just magically got 50 times more adoption. I think the more likely thing is that miners are incentivized to pad the blocks, right? To stuff the blocks with non-real transactions to make it look like people are adopting. And wouldn't you know it, that's exactly what Charlie Lee at Coinbase did back in 2017. Coinbase got fined $6 million for this, for the wash trading bots that were created to fake adoption of Litecoin on Coinbase. And the lead dev they said a developer in the report from the CFTC, but the lead dev, who was Charlie Lee at the time, made these wash trading bots to make it look like Litecoin had adoption. So it would be completely in their modus operandi to expect them to pad their blocks. And if we go back further, you can see that they've done this. It seems like they've done this as well, where everyone else over the bear market was like having dropping transactions. Litecoin was just steady. It's like, nah, I don't buy that, right? I just don't buy that. So I don't know what's up with Dogecoin and Bcash. I don't know what's up with Bcash either. They've got like these weird oscillations, like up to 100,000 and back down.
All these cryptos, including Monero, went up in transaction count at the same time, right? Due to the congestion in the Bitcoin network. But you're saying some may have been organic and others not so much. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, it would be reasonable to me to think 10, 20, maybe even 50%, maybe even a 2x, right? Could be 2x. But like Bitcoin's doing 250,000 transactions per day. So let's suppose that NFT saturated the chain and there's 250,000 transactions looking for somewhere to go. Okay, we could explain like some part of this, but you can't explain the 600, the 500,000, the 500,000 transactions extra that Litecoin suddenly put on. And, you know, if you think about it, it kind of makes sense, right? Because the miners do have the incentive to pad the blocks because if they make it look like there's usage and saturation and fees can go up, right? The miners can collect more fees. But with Monero, we've got dynamic blocks. So fees actually go down if they try to pad the blocks. So it's like there's a natural disincentive on Monero towards doing that, whereas there's a natural incentive on basically every other proof of work chain towards doing that. And there's a lot of people that suspect that's actually happened with Bitcoin to a significant degree over the years.
Very cool, man. I like it. All right.
Good stuff.
Thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you, man. Greatly appreciate it, as always. Stick around if you can. We got I guess we'll jump to the guests.
Guest segment up next. All right. Sweet. Let's go. Thanks, Bawdy.
Hold on. Let's make sure. Do we have I see
we got Geonic and Monero.
Oh, Geonic's there too. Sweet. Let's do it.
The Monerotopia guest segment is sponsored by Cake Wallet. Store, send, receive, and exchange your Monero and Bitcoin safely on iOS and Android too. Cake Wallet is open source, and you always control your own keys.
All right, Geonic.
Yo.
How's it
going?
Buddy. How are you?
Doing great, man. Doing great.
We got MB there.
Hello. Yeah.
Monero Wolf, what's up? I'm loving the shirt, man. That's oh wow, you got you're repping both. You got the MoneroKon shirt.
I got it all, man.
And
I got the original MoneroKon shirt, 2019 Denver edition.
That's where we met, right? That's
yeah,
like
I think
when we first met in person.
Yeah.
Shit. That was the best thing that came out of that conference.
Oh man. It was a great conference. I loved it.
It was. That was epic. It was such a good time, good moment.
Are you guys fully recovered from Topia?
I don't think we ever will be. We're just different people now. It's altered us permanently. It was a lot of stress. It was more so the stress. Like you guys witnessed the in-person stress, but there was like kind of stress building up to it as well. So it was like Sunita's taking a break now. But no, we'll be ready for MoneroKon. We're excited. I mean, just going to Prague is amazing. So it's gonna be super cool. Why don't you guys give us the lowdown? What is going? I haven't been following it closely. What is the latest with MoneroKon? Is everything on track?
Yeah, MoneroKon's happening. Get your tickets. Book your flights. Prague, here we come. Let me share the screen real quick. See if we can go over the schedule real quick or something like that.
How has organization been going? MB, I know like anytime I check in there, I see that you're very vocal in there. It seems like you're very much helping run the show. How has coordination been going?
Well, we have meetings at least once a week.
Awesome.
Looking good. We have some items on site already. Some people have already checked out the location. It's looking really good. Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah, so 23rd, 25th of June. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What day do you guys get in, Doug?
I think we arrive Thursday night. So yeah, I'll be hosting Friday, right? Because you're showing up a little late.
Yeah, I thought it was like Monerotopia, where Friday night is the welcome night. So I get in like Friday afternoon, but
Okay.
yeah,
No, that's cool. I'll try to, you know, help hold it down. That I want to contribute, you know, I want to help where I can. So I could
exactly.
you give me a purpose there, and then, you
Yeah,
know, welcome to help you on Saturday and Sunday as well, whatever you need.
awesome. Yeah, so if you want to learn more, you can hop on the website MoneroKon.com, and you can see the full schedule. We got a great lineup of people. I'm excited about most of these. I mean, they look pretty good. Yeah, so we have 3 stages, or Monero can correct me, or 2 stages in a rooftop where it's mostly parties and, you know, DJ spinning and whatnot. Yeah, so MIDI Poet speaking the first day. I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna
Oh, what's Mini
have to.
Poke giving a talk on?
So it looks like identity versus anonymity, the battleground for the future of finance. You know, MIDI Poet always has interesting takes, so I'm very curious to hear this talk, but I guess I'll catch the recording. Then we have Luke Parker, Mikhail, someone, Uri. Uri is great. He spoke at Monerotopia.
Yeah, Mitchell above. Yeah, he's. Oh no, I thought that was Mitchell. I'm sorry. Mike. Yeah, I don't know who that is. The Liberland guy. That's cool.
Someone else. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of cool stuff. Monero, what are you excited about? What do you want to hear?
I'm looking forward to Kayaba's talk. Even though it's not on Sarai Dex, sadly. It's on the first day. It's about full chain. Yeah, it's zero knowledge stuff.
Yeah, the 1030 talk, full chain membership proofs.
That's awesome.
He gave a great talk at Monerotopia. What was? Did he give 2 talks, Doug? What did he speak about at Monerotopia?
Well, he was on the panel.
Yeah.
And then no, his talk. I thought he talked. Didn't he talk about Sarai?
I think he did. Yeah.
I'll be honest. I did not. I did not see his talk. I introed him and ran. As I was telling everybody, like I can't wait till we start posting these talks on YouTube. I'll be watching.
Yeah, same. I missed most of the ones I wanted to see.
But there was a lot of clapping. People loved it.
There was so much going on, man.
Did you run the Q&A for that one?
I think I did. And there goes to show you. I mean, it's so much.
It was intense, man, right?
It was intense.
Intense amount of information. And MoneroKon's going to be the same thing all over again a month later.
Dude,
amazing. How do you guys feel about going to Monerotopia and then like not even a month and a half later going to MoneroKon? They're kind of close to each other.
Yeah. I think in the future we'll try to, you know, I'll try to sort it out so there isn't as much crossover. You know, maybe give it like a buffer, like a 6-month buffer would obviously be ideal, right? That would be it would be ideal. We could figure that out in the future. Here's
an interesting one. Arctic Mine is speaking. That's on the first day again. Yeah, Friday, 3:30. You know, we're going to hear about this Monero security model, spam, how we fight that with fees and whatnot. Always great to hear from Arctic Mine. He gave a great talk on price actually at Monerotopia.
Yeah,
that was interesting.
Yeah, I got to go back and watch that one because that's kind of like, you know, the ultimate bull case for Monero coming from Arctic Mine. Very, very cool.
Yeah, exactly. And then, okay, Friday night, we have the welcome dinner. So if you want to go to that, get a VIP ticket. I think we still have some VIP tickets. Didn't AJ open up some tickets? Yeah.
There are a few VIP tickets left, but it's not a lot.
Yep. Yeah. We're gonna run out pretty soon. We only have 100 tickets, and you know it's a month out, so these are gonna go. I think we're gonna be sold out. I'm pretty sure.
Sweet. Do you guys know? So is that going to be near the venue, the restaurant?
I think it's like a 10-minute walk.
Okay.
Monero, do you remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's looking good. I think there's pictures of the restaurant too. Maybe we can find them, but whatever. Okay, so yeah, Saturday we have both stages going on simultaneously as well. Looks like it's kicking off at 10 a.m., which is good for me. I'm not an early riser. You're punishing me here, Doug. This was painful.
I know. Oh, yeah, that must be tough for you. Shit.
Oh yeah, the time zone.
Yeah.
3 hours behind. So Andres is speaking. That's going to be interesting. About his project in Monero Garden, economics of privacy. Just so much good stuff, man. And like with Monerotopia, most of it is it's not even in the schedule. It's meeting the people and putting faces to the handles and making Monero come alive. That's what conferences are all about. And all the talks in between the talks, the people you meet and so on. That's really
that's where the magic happens. Like people that are watching it remotely and stuff and seeing like, why are these people so gaga over this? Because when you go, it's a completely different experience, right? Being there in person, like you said. I mean, the real value comes from being around these people in person and talking to all these members of the Monero community that you may have met online or something, right? You don't even know who you're talking to when you're talking to them, and you end up vibing with 99% of the people there, because there's obviously some common ground, right? There's a reason why you're both so passionate about Monero.
And that's why we added some coffee breaks in between. Like last MoneroKon, there was too little of that in between talks, so this is why we have some extra time planned in.
Very good idea.
Exactly that stuff.
Yeah, I like that. You guys really spaced it out nice. So instead of it just being a marathon, Monerotopia has that lesson to learn for sure. And not starting as early, like you said, it shouldn't be like you're cramming for exams at the end of college year. It should be a little more relaxed.
Here's one I loved at Monerotopia. This is going to be great. Elizabeth,
she's speaking there too. Okay,
Ethereum, atomic swaps. That was a great presentation. She was awesome. And then just all kinds of good stuff. And then let's see, Zarcanum. So not as many other privacy projects though, I gotta say.
Yeah, well, I think that's where we kind of one of the ways we differentiated, right? So Monerotopia kind of put the stake in the ground as being more open to just privacy tech projects in general.
Scams.
There you go.
Well, there is someone from NIM and someone from Basic Swap.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, can we talk about the basic swap thing? So I heard their talk at Monerotopia, and I think I did the Q&A. But I mean, how do they have all these atomic swaps working? Where like even the Ethereum swap, even the Bitcoin swap is super, like bleeding edge. It's not completely.
So they have this. They have their own messaging protocol for like encrypted messaging that's running on top of their nodes. And that's how they can integrate it more easily, because they have this messaging protocol that's not directly on the blockchain, so it's easier to do atomic swaps.
So it's not. Is it really an atomic swap if it's like on a second layer or something, or like using a different system?
I mean, they are atomic swaps. There can only be two outcomes, and that is either you get your coins back or the swap goes through. So they are decentralized swaps, but
just
they might not be. Yeah, it's a different approach.
So it's in spirit an atomic swap.
Right.
I mean, with the other atomic swaps, you're also just running another program to go through the swaps. So you're just running a different program here as well, but you're still doing like on-chain proofs and stuff like that.
Got it.
Yeah, we had in addition to them being at Monerotopia, we had them on the show a couple of months before. You could recommend people check that out. We had Particle on. They kind of went into detail on the tech.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think the guy was selling it a little too much.
Yeah,
it was just too gung ho for me. Like, here's the financial revolution. It reminded me of a OneCoin presentation.
It was too over the top.
Yeah, for me, but different.
He's a good guy. I think he's just passionate about it. He that's what he sees as being the vision. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, how many people are actually using it? How many people are actually using Basic Swap? Like, why
I have used it. It's not that user friendly right now because you have to run the full nodes for all the stuff you want to trade. So if you want to trade Litecoin and Monero, you need a Litecoin and a Monero node on the same machine. You can technically use remote nodes, but it's rather unstable and not really supported yet. We're working on that.
Oh, that's interesting. So to participate in it, you need the full node running for every currency that you're basically trying to swap with, right?
Well, it can be pruned, I think, but you need to run quite a few nodes. It takes a lot of resources.
Interesting. Maybe Monero Nodo could help out with that. I mean, I love the, kudos to them, right? They're trying to build more bridges, more decentralized bridges for crypto. So
yeah, everything in that direction is great.
Yeah.
So Nodo, tell us about Nodo, Doug.
Yeah, I mean, I jumped.
Is that a presentation or what's happening?
I don't think
that is a workshop. I think
a workshop.
Yeah, I think they gave him a workshop. Abdullah tried getting I think he, it was late. I think it was only a couple of weeks ago. He hit you guys up. So I don't know what he's going to be doing. And I think the idea is we're hoping to have a couple of these in hand, and he's just going to show people how they work. Basically, do a demo. That is the hope. Hopefully, we have them in hand.
Great. That's like a plug and play Monero node.
Plug and play Monero node. Yeah, I want. We'll do a full show on it. I'll have Abdullah on, and maybe some of the other people that participated in the project. But yeah, at its core, it's a plug and play Monero node for people like me, or anybody. Even the pros, right? Because it's you're not taking up space on your computer or whatever, and it's dedicated. The idea being that it'll always reliably be running. It's not on your laptop or something. It's a dedicated piece of hardware. And so, big vision is your easy way to help secure the Monero network, add redundancy, right, by being an additional node, and then giving the user an ideal Monero experience, allowing them to use Monero in the most private and secure way possible by connecting to their own node, right? That is the vision. And then that's really it. And then we have the My Monero server that will be running on it. So you'll effectively be able to run your own in a very, the goal in a very simple way, as simple as getting the node itself up and running. You'll be able to get your own My Monero server up and running, import your view key into it. So you're not giving up your view key to My Monero, right? But now you're getting the My Monero experience, and you're just running it through your own server.
Aren't there other people working on light wallets? Like Justin Berman, I think, was working on something. Or
I didn't know Justin Berman's working on a light wallet. That's awesome.
He was working on a new key that would allow you to more safely use a light wallet.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Like a Monero key, like similar to like the view only key, but it would be it'd be a little bit different. But it would allow you to more safely use something like My Monero without them being able to control your transactions or see all of your transactions in the same way, which would be really cool, because something like a light wallet is extremely, I mean, like even quick Cake wallet's pretty easy to use, but it still requires a lot of bandwidth. And one of the biggest things I noticed is that in Monerotopia, me and a lot of other people were having trouble syncing because of the data issues going on there. And so something like a light wallet in those situations, and in certain places where they just don't have as great access to high-speed internet, that would be very useful.
For sure.
Yeah, like a light wallet server for Cake or Monerujo would be amazing.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the vision with Monero.
Yeah,
right.
So my Monero to me has this stigma a little bit from their 3-month downtime or whatever it was, the last hard fork. They kind of lost me with that.
Yeah, I haven't been following the project closely, but they kind of were the first to solve the problem, right? Of a super light wallet where they do the scanning for you. I know, like, was it Exodus, right? They use My Monero servers.
I think Edge uses them.
I mean, Edge. I'm sorry.
They still use them. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think there's a lot of not a lot. I think there's more than just Edge, right? There's other ones that have Monero added as a wallet, and they're essentially just using the Monero server.
Yeah.
So
probably all the ones that went down to get together with them. So here's one I'm looking forward to. Monerujo. This is the main dev of Monerujo, M2049R. This will be cool.
Oh, sweet.
He's a real cypherpunk, so I'm looking forward to that one. Andrea, regulating Monero. Oh, she's been active in the Monero policy work group. So that'll be very cool to hear. And then
I gotta get her on do a Monero talk.
Yeah, totally. Okay, Lelantis, all right. And then Justin is doing a Monero trivia. And look what we got next. We got a film screening.
Yes.
Ah.
I wonder what it will be.
Me too. It's a mystery.
Can we play your clip?
Yeah, let's do it.
Show a preview of what is to come.
Want to give people a quick little rundown?
Well, all right. So let me give this some context. Here's Andres. Yes. All right, he's listening to us. Oh, and someone in the chat said only 3 VIP tickets, guys. So if you want to go to that dinner, your chances are running out pretty soon. 3 tickets left.
Oh wow, only 3 tickets left.
That's what they said in the chat.
I haven't
verified that.
Bawdy is saying, is there software where you could run your own? Yeah, there is. There is a way to run your own Monero server. That's what we're doing with the Monero Nodo. We're gonna have that running on the node so you get it up and running easily, or you can do it on your own without the Monero Nodo. But yeah, there is a way to do that and connect your mobile to your own node like that. Yes, that's exactly what we're trying to achieve with the Nodo.
Yeah, if you're more technical, you can look at CryptoGrampy on Twitter. He's working on it's called Light Wallet Server or Service or something, and he made a admin dashboard you still need to run the Light Wallet server yourself, and you can set that up if you're technical.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, not Justin Berman. CryptoGrampy. There you go.
Yep. So yeah, we're just trying to package that all into one device so people can just get it up and running easily.
Very cool.
Yeah, Geonic, go ahead.
All right. So yeah, the movie. So some of you know, others don't. But I made a little movie and I made a CCS, and the community kindly supported my effort to release the movie and get it to the Oscars. Hopefully, maybe, we'll see. So anyway, this movie is ready to be released, but one of the ideas that was floated by Plosov, who's our CCS coordinator, was to make a fake trailer for the movie. Which makes it look like a Monero movie, which we did. So there's an official trailer that doesn't have Monero in it at all. But then there's this alternative trailer or teaser that we just made that sort of gives a different impression. So if you want to play that, we can play it.
Yeah, let's do it. Tux, you got it on your
Let me go ahead and click on that. Yep.
Sweet.
Resulta que sí necesito tu ayuda. Tranquilo. ¿No sabes lo que es esto? ¿Has oído de Bitcoin? Sí, que no. ¡Puta madre, la moneda también! Pues esto es como Bitcoin, pero mejor. Es imposible de rastrear.
Te juro que no fui de mí. Te juro que no sabía nada.
Let's get started, limousine in the desert pine. Cypherpunks who I hate the dollar Ponzi. I'm feeling cocky, Monero shirt all up in the lobby. I got IDs, I revitalize like who's gon' stop me. I feel like I went 100x on a Lolo. I feel like I went platinum on a song.
Sick.
That's great.
That's a great show.
I haven't seen that before.
Good, man. Oh my god. Well, I mean, yeah, you should make it clear, like you said, like, but all these clips are obviously in the movie, right? But when you watch the full movie, you realize, it's
not a Monero movie.
It's not focused on Monero. Monero plays a character in the movie. Right?
Yeah. Full disclosure, this is all the Monero that's in the movie. Basically, we put it all together.
Shit, man, I want to see that movie. I want to see that version.
I'm sure. I'll make another CCS, $1 million.
But the movie itself is amazing, man. You did such a good job on it. As you could see from like anybody who's just saw that, the quality, it's like very well done. And then the actual full movie, the story, everything, awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop that on Twitter today, so you can share it, like it, whatever.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Let me share the screen again. So yes,
you'll be debuting the full movie at MoneroKon.
There is a film screening. Something is going to be playing at MoneroKon. I can't confirm whether it's going to be this movie or not, but it kind of matches the duration. Okay, it's 40 minutes long, so there's a pretty good chance. There's a pretty good chance you're gonna get to watch the movie. Wink, wink. All right, so that's Saturday. That's how we end Saturday night, and then we're on to Sunday, which is a bit of a short day. Start at 10 again. Some talks. Uri is speaking a second time. That's good. Oh, Amir Taki. This is going to be interesting.
Oh, sweet.
Did he drop out of Monerotopia, Doug?
He was supposed to be there in person. He should have. He gave a remote talk, I believe, unless that ended up not taking place. Yeah, it was literally a last minute. He had like stomach issues. He was, yeah. Then they missed the plane.
Did he eat too many tacos or something?
It was on his way to Mexico, but I don't know. Perhaps.
Dude, I had stomach issues for a week after Monerotopia. I'm not gonna lie.
Me too, man. Me too. And then it actually
love Mexico, but
I know, right? It comes at a cost. It really does.
Yeah.
But not Prague. I've been to Prague before. I think my stomach fared quite well in Prague. Amazing food in Prague.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to go back to Prague. I haven't been for like 5 or 6 years. Love it. Beautiful town.
We should mention too the venue, right? It's the parallel. I can never pronounce this word. Parallel polis, right? How do you properly pronounce it?
Parallelny polis, I think.
Parallelny, yeah.
Parallelny, yeah.
It's tough for me to say that one. But that's like freaking old school cypherpunk. Uri is one of the guys behind it, right? Who are the other people behind it?
The other guy who was there at Monerotopia, with Uri, what was his name? He gave a talk too.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Here it is.
I gotta look on the list.
Venue rental. Oh yeah, we should talk about the venue. Look at that. Okay, interested in renting our venue. Okay, here's pictures from Parallelny Polis. This is it, guys. This is where we're gonna be. Oh, my VPN's a little slow. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean it's really cool that they're doing a Monero conference there. They're behind Monero. I mean they were kind of strictly Bitcoin, right? But
I think they've opened up. Yeah.
They're open to Monero, which is very exciting.
They're super cypherpunk. I think the only 3 coins they support are. Do they support Litecoin? I'm not even sure, but Bitcoin and Monero for sure. They have Lightning. I think there's a coffee shop there where you can pay with crypto and stuff.
Yeah, they have a Bitcoin coffee shop. I'll be talking with them, see if we get a Gratuitous going over there. We will be all the coffee will be supplied by Gratuitous. We're gonna have drip coffee.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we're not gonna be doing pour over and stuff because I don't want to get into that. But all the drip coffee will be supplied by Gratuitous. That's cool.
Okay, so here's the Institute of Crypto Anarchy. That's the second stage, I believe, right, Bull? I think.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That's the smaller stage, I think.
That's the smaller stage. The bigger one is in La Fabrica.
Yeah, that's not here.
So they own like the whole building? It's like it's an entire building?
Paper. You know, I don't know if they own it or rent it, but yeah, they've been there for a while, and you know, they haven't gone away. So it's really encouraging to see that they can stick around and make this like a viable model.
And it's Pavel Luptek. Pavel is the guy.
There you go. Yes. There you go.
Super cool dude. He gave a talk basically on opting out. You know, he doesn't just talk the talk; he walks the walk. Like all these guys, right? That's why it's so encouraging to see that they're behind Monero, because they're kind of their MO is that, you know, they actually don't just like pretend to be cypherpunks. They actually live the life of one.
Yep.
They use the tools. They treat all these things like tools. They're not like Bitcoin maxis. They're just looking for the best thing to do the job for purposes of opting out. So It's encouraging that they're into Monero. Pavel gave a great talk at Monerotopia.
Yep. And they all have Peruvian citizenship.
Peruvian citizenship?
I think so, yeah.
Maybe
you're
Paraguay.
Right.
I think it's Paraguay.
Oh,
right?
sorry, not Peru. There you go.
Yeah.
Paraguay. Yeah. Oh, shout out to Vic. He's listening to us.
Vic, what's up, man?
Vic, why don't you hop on, Vic?
Yeah, jump on if you like. Tux, can you drop the link in the chat?
Yes, I can't. Let me grab it.
For anybody that wants to jump on.
Yeah, anyone who's coming to MoneroKon, or anyone who wants to ask questions or anything, jump on.
Is there anybody else in the throw that in there. Let's see if anybody jumps up, and then we can make that our viewers on stage if anybody wants to come up. Yeah, so they must own the whole building. Does anybody know what's the town like over? Like, what's that part of the city like? Is it like kind of like?
It's on the other side of the river. It's on the other side of the river. So it's not in the touristy part. From what I've seen. So that's good. You know, not as much noise and whatever. More locals, I think.
Kind of like the Brooklyn of Prague.
Yeah, probably a similar vibe. Yep.
Sweet.
Yep. And then Justin Berman is speaking. This is going to be good. He's always good. Yep. You know who they should have, or we should have, at the next MoneroKon was Woodser. Woodser was amazing at Monerotopia.
Yes, Havino.
Yep, he gave a great talk.
Despite the technical difficulties on our end,
despite the power going out, but we got it. We recorded even that part, so it's good. Yeah, Michael, remote presentation.
And he launched. They launched the testnet for Havino. Basically,
that's right. That's right.
He spoke about it at the conference, and then I think just recently, it's been made live.
Yeah, that's where he announced it. Okay, looks like Ko is going to be there in person. So if you want to meet the genius behind Seraphis, come to Prague.
Oh, this is awesome. Seamless escrowed marketplace. That's exciting.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. He always comes up with good ideas. So
now is that a Xano based marketplace? I don't know. He
There's been some Xano activity lately. I can't lie.
Well, he presented with Andre, right?
He presented with
the proof of stake aspects of Xano, which is very cool.
I guess we're all going to be selling our Monero and buying Xano soon.
Never.
Unless you've already lost yours in a boating accident, then you don't have to sell it.
It is cool that we're working on different things, though, right? Like, and
is it?
And yeah. I mean, you had like probably the best interactions with the Xano team of all. You ran the Q&A, and then had some really good face-to-face combo, right?
They were good guys. I'm not gonna lie. They're not bad guys. I think they're working on a shitcoin, but their heart is in it. So like they're giving it their all.
There you go.
Yeah. And here's the last thing for Sunday, 3:15. We have a panel. Justin, Andrea, Midipo. This is going to be amazing. So this is all about policy and laws and regulations. If you're worried about Monero being banned or whatever, this is where you want to be.
I love it.
And these are the people you want to ask questions to. That's a great group here.
We'll definitely do a Monerotopia episode at some point over there. At least one, maybe two, maybe for both days. I don't know if we're gonna. I'll probably rather just enjoy the conference a little bit, but definitely on Saturday we'll do it. So that'll be cool, and we can have as many people as we can get to kind of jump on real quick.
Oh, looks like Vic joined the StreamYard. Should I invite him up?
Oh yeah, sweet. Do the viewers on stage segment. Let's play that.
Right.
And bring Vic up.
Let's go.
It's the Viewers on Stage segment. It's that time where we invite you, the viewers, up on stage to comment on anything you've heard so far today, ask the guest a question, or maybe talk about one of the news topics. Come on down.
All we have is the sound of Sunita's voice. She's not with us.
Vic.
Vic, what's going on, man?
Hey, guy. How you doing?
What's up,
Monerotopia was a big success. I saw some pictures and
it lacked one thing.
Huge.
It was fun. Man. Sad you didn't go.
I know, with my shoulder surgery and all that, it's just next time for sure.
You would have loved it.
But I was there in spirit, right?
That's what kept us going through the hard times, you know?
A lot of Cake Wallet users.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. Yeah, we saw a massive jump in Cake Wallet downloads and Monero.com downloads during those 3-4 days.
Sweet. I know we're trying to take all the credit for it, even though it was Bitcoin's congested network. But
no, but I mean, a lot of downloads in Mexico during that time. I think I think I published those numbers like 800% or something ridiculous.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So let's see if we see an 800% increase in Prague in Czech on after Monero.
Yeah, then we'll know which is the real Monero conference.
That's the real metric.
Real metric, yeah. How many people are using Cake?
Vic, will you be in Prague? Are you gonna?
Snally and I were just talking about it, so I don't know.
You should definitely come, man. Come on, make it happen.
I don't want to go and make you feel bad. Then you'd be like, "Oh, you can come to that."
No, never. Please go.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Just looking at the dates, because we have to be in London sometime in middle of July, so we're trying to see if maybe those things can happen.
Okay.
Time. Yeah. So, Geonic, sorry I missed you for my recent trip. I won't reveal the location.
I'm sorry you missed me. Yeah, I gotta put you on the spot. Vic was in my part of town, or in my neck of the woods for a week, but we didn't get to meet.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Wow.
Yeah. That's okay. We've met a bunch of times.
Yeah, we did meet on my last trip. Yeah.
Yep,
that's good. So, I don't know if you guys have noticed, and I don't know, nobody's asked, Apple hasn't approved our last 2 updates.
Last 2?
Yeah, for iOS.
So it's on like
doesn't that include the bug that needed to be fixed, or?
So I think 4.64 is live, 4.65 and 4.66 haven't been approved.
6.6 was the one with the Monero update, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly. So they're actually
typical Apple stuff, right?
Yeah, but they're actually
is Cake compromised now?
Oh yeah, I've sold out. Yeah,
is it unsafe to use?
That's why he's jumping on.
Is that what you're saying?
just to break it to you guys, move your money right now. Move your money. They're asking about our crypto sales, which is done through third parties.
Well,
how does it work, and do we custody the users' funds? I mean, all the stuff they asked 5 years ago, but
that's interesting. They're ramping it up, huh?
Yeah, and they're not asking about the crypto to crypto exchange, like Trocador or Change Now are the ones we have in there. But their questions are about, Payfura, which we used to, sell Monero, or what's the other one we have? On-Ramper for other coins.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We gave them all the answers like a week ago, and no reply. except saying, hey, we need more time. And so we sent the new update anyway. We're like, you know what? So I think Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to reach out to them and just be like, hey, look, these are some critical updates we got to get to our users. What don't you like? We can remove it in the meantime, but we need to get these updates out. So.
Right. Interesting.
Apple is really terrible in that regard. Like even like Linus Tech Tips, if someone knows them, they have like 10 million subscribers on YouTube, and they always talk about how their updates always get denied as well.
Yeah.
Well,
Apple users are really
when you first launched Cake, right? I mean, didn't it take forever for you to get the?
Yeah, it took like 3 weeks to get approved, and
I thought it was longer. Okay.
No, I think it was around 3 weeks. But they, I mean, at that time they really don't understand crypto. I mean, they were asking, what is this fee? What is this network fee? You know, why aren't you putting it through the app store and stuff, in-app purchases? And I was like, no, it's not. It's not for us. And went back and forth on that. But now they have mainly they're asking about licenses of our providers like Payfura and MoonPay and all those types of guys.
They want to know that they're properly licensed.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a KYC AML issue that they're having. It's not so much that they're concerned that you're not passing the money through to Apple for this issue. It seems like they're kind of talking about they don't want people to be able to buy crypto without KYC AML. Is that exactly kind of what you're edging towards?
That's what it seems like. I mean, they're not asking about the commercial terms. They're asking about if these players are actually registered and are licensed. So let's see what happens.
Apple really works for the government in that regard.
Here we go, guys. Better grab your Monero before you can't do it anymore.
Yeah. And they said something about that they want us to build a backdoor or something.
You said okay. So, they said Monero.
Yeah.
Can
Apple, only take payment.
Can Apple remotely? Vic, can Apple remotely delete the Cake app from your phone?
I don't know. Could they? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Like remember when Flappy Bird was around and it was taken off the market, and there were iPhones who still had the app installed. They were selling for thousands on eBay.
Wow,
interesting. Yeah.
Well, it seems like worst case scenario, you just have to remove some of this functionality, right? Which would be very unfortunate. Do you think it would affect like buying the gift cards too? Probably not. No, it's more so the getting into Monero with credit card and things like that, right?
Right, exactly. They haven't asked about gift cards at all, so which is good. And by the way, gift cards been really successful, way more successful than I thought it would be. I think did you guys see my tweet from yesterday? We just sold our 5,000th gift card, which is crazy.
Nice. Was that like total?
Total so far, yeah.
Wow, that's really good. Because it hasn't even been out
3
that long.
months ago.
Yeah, that's
the web. Yeah, I'm just talking about the web version. Yeah,
the web version. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah,
I'm really glad you guys.
How are you doing?
Sorry.
How are you doing compared to? Sorry.
Oh,
no, go ahead.
No, text.
Okay.
How is?
No, you go ahead.
Okay, Tux, you go.
No,
okay. I was gonna say I'm glad you guys keep that service up and running because I know you've had some troubles. I was hearing Justin's rants about having to deal with the gift card vendor and how they keep screwing stuff up. But I'm glad you guys keep making it work because it's like really useful. I use it like at least once per week because I try to use it as much as I can for buying stuff in person because it's actually really convenient to use and it actually saves me a little bit of money. But I know it's been like there's been some issues with the companies you have to work with, but it's good that you guys keep it working because a lot of people clearly love it.
Yeah. So I'm glad you said that, and I'm happy to hear that. The issues sometimes have been from our provider for sure, but it's a new tool, new system, so I can't blame 100% our providers. Sometimes mistake has been on our part, and the other thing is we got to pay for so let's say we're anticipating we're going to sell, let's say, $50,000 worth of cards tomorrow. So we have to prepay that. And even though we prepay it, it takes them 2-3 days to, convert however we're paying them in crypto or dollars, whatever. Then they need to convert it, send it to their bank. And it's like a 2-3 day process. I don't understand why, but whatever the reason, it is a 2-3 day process. So then that means we have to fund the purchases for like 3 days. So then if we're anticipating every day $50,000, so now we got to fork up 150, fund 3 days of capital there. And some days you have really good days that they're like, oh, we're running out of money. So that's
wait,
happened. And now
you have to pre-purchase essentially all what you think all the gift card purchases will be for per month?
Yeah, we deposit the money.
Oh wow!
So then there's
you have to have like a balance on the vendor's account.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, but when a user's using it, isn't the Monero being sent to this third party?
Well, I won't get into that. But,
okay.
I'm guessing that the vendor doesn't accept any crypto, and they have to facilitate the crypto to USD themselves.
Okay. Got it.
Is what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, exactly.
Well, that's nice
then,
to do the way you're running that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So so sometimes, because we have really good days and we're like, oh, we run out of money. So, and now with Monday being a US bank holiday here, I've been watching the balance every day. Monday we might run out and they won't have a chance to top it up. So let's see. We're keeping an eye on it. So that's the honest truth with, one of the times we did have delays.
So does your balance cover like all of the gift cards, or do you have to allocate it to specific vendors?
What do you mean? Oh no!
Like if you have 100,000 in there, does that cover all the gift cards, or do you have to say 10,000 for Apple gift cards? 10,000 for Amazon, whatever.
No, it's for the whole catalog. It's for the whole catalog that you see on CakePay Web. Yeah.
What do you have metrics where you're seeing most of the purchases coming from, or where they're seeing most of the purchases coming from geographically for the gift cards and the credit card?
Yeah. I mean, we could easily look that up, and I think Justin is putting that together. See where we're seeing it. But here's the interesting thing, which I've been noticing. Not only on the gift card side, but even on the exchange side, if somebody is using one of the exchanges, Trocador, or Change Now, or SideShift, whatever we have in there. And I've seen this for the last couple of years. We see activity 7 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time to around 7 p.m. New York, U.S. Eastern Time, which is New York, right? So does that mean, I don't want to say, okay, that's just all U.S. Could be South America as well, or, So that's why I want to look up further and see which countries are those that are giving that activity from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I have a feeling it's the U.S. Maybe other countries don't need to use the exchange part of Cake Wallet because it's easier to get Monero there.
Right.
Maybe most people are using, in the U.S., people are using Cake to get Monero. I don't know.
It's probably New York. So, there's
the bit license.
It's New York.
Because even Kraken doesn't let you buy it in New York, do you?
There it is.
Sorry?
Yeah.
What'd you say, Tux?
Because even Kraken doesn't let you get Monero in New York, do they?
No.
Right.
There's no exchange that you...
Crazy.
There's no KYC AML exchange to get Monero.
The exchange is
I'm
using
on Kraken,
credit
but
cards, right?
I'm a Florida resident. So.
What'd you say, MB?
The exchange in Cake Wallet is using credit cards, right?
That's one of them. Yeah, but you can also do crypto to crypto exchanges.
Oh, and you don't see crypto activity outside of those hours?
Very little. That's what I'm saying. Maybe like 80% of the exchange and gift card and I don't know about the credit card sales. I gotta check that.
It's all through my most active hours. That's interesting.
It's all Doug. It's all Doug.
All Doug.
I
It's
wake
all
up
Doug.
at 7 a.m. I'm in bed by 7
The power
p.m.
user.
Should give you a gold membership or something.
Interesting.
So how does Cake compare
Yeah.
to some of the other like gift card providers? Was it Coin Cards was another one? What are some of the other big ones?
There's the Bitcoin one that never added Monero.
There's Bitrefill, there's Coin Cards. I think there's a Coinsbee or something like that. People keep posting about.
Yeah,
I mean, Coinsbee says it
Coin
right
Cards
on
is the other one I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, since Cake Wallet is known for Monero, most of the purchases are done with Monero for sure. But we put Trocador's.
Are you guys more popular than Coin Cards now?
I don't know. I don't know what the numbers are. I mean, he's a great guy. I'd love to talk to him. Yeah.
He's a very nice dude.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else want to jump up? Now's the time. The link is there, the StreamYard link. I don't think we're going to pop into this Twitter Spaces. I do see we have
Doug,
there.
I wanted to ask you about your node thing that you're.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's that about? Is it a light wallet node? Like
no. I mean, no. The major the use case is just a plug and play Monero node, right? So remember, like the Monero box somebody launched years ago, but then it never really followed through.
Yeah, it stopped working for me after like 2 weeks. By the way.
So we picked up where they left off. We actually were working with the original Monero box guy when we first started it, trying to get him back into it, but he's like, "Nah, I'm not really into that anymore." So yeah, this working with this guy Abdullah, who I've never met, become friends with him through the internet. He gave a presentation, a remote presentation at Monerotopia, and he should be in person at MoneroKon. But yeah, just plug and play Monero nodes. So selling the hardware with the proper software on there, where it's take it out of the box, plug it in, get it up and running. But yeah, the feature we did add a way to also easily get up and running your own My Monero server. So then people can yes. So then people can easily connect to their wallet. Obviously, they could connect to Cake Wallet, no problem. You don't need the My Monero server. You could just make that your node, right? Select it as your node. But then it also becomes a way for people that want to, use the My Monero functionality, right? So that you're not syncing on the app.
Yeah. Because just yesterday I was saying to Justin that I think Crypto Grampy or I don't know who's doing that LWS thing.
Yeah, I think Crypto Grampy, he's in. Crypto Grampy, raise your hand. Do you want to? I don't think he's ever really been public, right?
I don't think they've ever talked before.
Yeah.
I was just saying to Justin yesterday. He's on.
I see Grampy on Twitter. I don't know. Give us a sign if you want to talk. I don't think he does though. He's lurking. But what were you going to say, Vic? Go ahead.
I was just saying. I was just talking to Justin yesterday that we should jump on that whole LWS thing, even if we offer it as like a experimental feature in Cake Wallet or an advanced feature. At least it's something to get going and have some people start playing around with it. So I'm definitely going to put that on the roadmap.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to you more about too. How Nodo can be something that Cake Wallet users would want to use. I mean, this is something the usual spiel, right? Like I'm building it because it's something that I wanted personally, right? I wanted a plug and play Monero.
That's the best way.
Yeah. So
Doug, after Nodo launches and it's a big success, you should take on a hardware wallet next.
Yeah. I don't think I don't want to get in that game, right? There's not much risk with the node. I mean, don't get me wrong, like right, you don't want to be sloppy about it. It's got to be secure, but hardware wallet, holy shit, you fuck up.
I guess hardware wallets just turned out to be a scam, like Ledger, Trezor, they're both sort of compromised. So.
Well, Vic, do you want to mention the new Cake Wallet 2FA feature?
Yeah, it's another security feature we put in Cake Wallet. So in addition to the PIN that you use to log in, now you can set up 2FA. You know, it's again, it's not a hardware wallet, but it definitely provides another layer of security. So if you have another phone, you know, put your authentication app on the other phone and have that separate from your Cake Wallet phone. So again, it's not a hardware wallet. Nobody should expect it to provide that level of security, but it's definitely better than just a basic PIN.
Well,
I haven't tried that yet. Is that
even a
every
hardware
time you...
wallet's not a hardware wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So you know, Justin talked to the Monero community, and we went with the most advanced OTP thing. That's SHA 256 SHA-512. So you have to download an authenticator which has the 8-digit SHA-256 type encryption.
Oh, the 8-digit. Okay.
Yeah, so you're not going to be able to use your Authy, for example, or Google Authenticator. So I'm using this new one called Raivo, R-A-I-V-O, something like that. And I haven't tried it with the YubiKey authenticator yet, but I think they support SHA-256 8 digits. So yeah, just another layer of privacy. I think it's good. Even if you lose your phone, it's separate from your authenticator. So I think it'll be.
So is that just every time you open the app, or is it also required when you want to send something?
Right now, it's only when you open the app, but I'd like to have it as an option for sending, and also as an option if you want to see your private keys in seed.
Cool.
That's cool.
Even if
someone
you
in the
hand
chat said,
phone, they can't just. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm lagging. I think my VPN is messing with me, so I'm interrupting people all the time. Someone said native Tor connections would be great. Is that coming to Cake?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something we're actively looking into it right now. I mean, you do have the option of running Orbot, and we did put a Monero node that's on Tor. But just app specific, we haven't done that yet. Not looking at it yet.
Oh, Monero Nodo also will be running on Tor as well. That's the other
nice
feature to mention. Okay. I guess people will be interested.
Very cool.
We should Tux. We didn't do the news. We didn't play.
Yep. We still got the news that's left.
How long is the news clip?
It's about 9 minutes.
All right, you want to play it now, and then if anybody sticks around, if you can, that'd be awesome. We're gonna play the news real quick. If you guys do stick around, we could briefly chat. Geonic's on the way out.
I'm gonna hop off.
Good to talk to you.
All right, you guys.
Vic, you're out too. All right, Vic's out too.
No, I'll stick around for a little.
All right, yeah, stick around if you can. MB, stick around if you can too. We're gonna play the news, and we'll be back.
All right,
Geonic.
see you guys in Prague. All right.
In Prague.
All right.
Bye.
Ciao.
And now for our weekly news segment.
Because one time I recorded the whole thing and then I didn't have my microphone on and all these things, but this is going to be successful, hopefully. Yeah, happy weekend. Hope you have some coffee. I have some water, and let's get into the news section. The first thing that I want to discuss is Mastering Monero, which is a very interesting book that you should read if you're a beginner, advanced, intermediate, if you're just getting into Monero or not. It's just a really good book to read, and I'm really happy to see it trending on Hacker News. It goes in depth about Monero, so you should definitely take a look at the book. And then once you read that, I think you should definitely grab a copy of the Monero Standard, which has been written by my friend Stoic. We've been talking about it for over a year now, and in the beginning it was really interesting. We were talking about the book, and in like 1 minute we basically reached the conclusion that such a thing should exist. And he's like, all right, I'm going to do it. And I said, okay. And he's been working on it. He's been telling me about the progress. Hey, I'm 20% in, 25%, 30%. Man, this is not easy, blah, blah. And besides working like a maniac, he works a lot. He also pulled the book somehow. And I couldn't be happier for him and what he's achieved and what he's done. And I personally can't wait to read the book myself. So definitely Mastering Monero. And then once you're done with that, the Monero Standard. and you should be good to go. Then I want to discuss the company called Unciphered, which they claim to be able to hack the Trezor T wallet. So a lot of people have the Trezor T wallet or the Trezor wallet or Ledger or stuff like that. There's been a bug in 2019 that has been circulated on YouTube and other places, and then it got patched. This one allegedly, the company said that the exploit for the Trezor T is unfixable with firmware updates, and they said in order to fix this, Satoshi Labs will have to recall all their products, which they're likely not going to do. And of course, they can't do that, right? And then Trezor responded, actually, and they told CoinDesk that the attack performed by Unciphered resembled an RDP downgrade attack that required physical theft of a device, right? So physically stealing it, and then extreme technical knowledge and advanced equipment to execute. So not everybody can perform this hack. It's not like, oh my God, now everybody's gonna steal everybody's cryptos on Trezor. But they also said that they took significant steps to resolve this issue. So we'll see what's gonna happen. Are they gonna resolve this issue? Is Unciphered still gonna be able to do the same thing that they have achieved? We should see. Now, I want to discuss something that I really love about the Monero community, and is the fact that when we have bugs or issues within Monero, we discuss it openly and we just put it on the table and say, hey, like for example, we had a bug in Monero's XMR's GUI CLI decoy selection, allowing chain analysis to guess the real spend with high probability. If the spend is exactly 10 blocks old, it's not severe, but it's still not it's not good. And if you click on this link, go on GitHub, and then you can read more details about it. But the severity was high. It's been patched. We just discussed it. This is it. Blah blah, and boom, now it's patched. So this is a beautiful thing about the Monero community: the fact that we discuss the weaknesses and then we work on it, we patch it, and we just move forward. And then the next time something's gonna happen, we're gonna do the same thing. So really beautiful, and make sure that you update your wallet to the newest version, which is 0.18.2.2. Now, let's talk about a way to not be, which is, I'm not going to be able to play this video actually because I've been having issues with the sound. I think last episode I also didn't have sound. So Doug, if you can, or if you want, you can play this video, and then the one with New York City Mayor Adam that we'll discuss in a bit. So basically, Laser Eye, called leader, has nervous breakdown on a podcast, and he calls people names and F this and F that, which, and what Doug wrote, please, let's never let the Monerotopia conference evolve into this, or the podcast, or nothing should be like this. If you're ever that angry about something, you should go in a corner, relax, and then think about what you're gonna say. And for the people that have been to the Monerotopia conference, either the one last year or this year, that it's very relaxed. We had people from Pirate Chain, Lim, and all these projects, and then it was very relaxed. We discussed, we had a great time together. So this is definitely something that we don't want to evolve into, and something that we just don't want to be part of, because it's not good. It's not productive. Now I want to get into CBDCs, and we discussed on the past in past episodes the fact that India is pulling away cash from circulation. Now they pulled the 2,000 rupee notes, which is going to affect the economy in a bad way. It's going to affect people. It's going to affect everything, because it's just easier to transact when you have higher denominations as well. In the US, we only have $100 bills, but in Romania, we have $200 lei, our currency, 500, and it just makes it a lot easier. And I think in the US, we used to have 500 as well, and 1,000 at some point, but they pulled it away. But yeah, 2,000 is actually not a lot in rupees. The 2,000 rupee note is less than $25, but they just want to crack down on cash and private transactions globally. Of course, nobody can know that a cash transaction existed, unless they physically watch it. So they want to push their CBDC that they're working on, of course, like all the other countries, and they want to push cash. They want to take cash away from the economy. And then you can read more details in this article. Visa, Microsoft, and other companies are joining the Brazilian CBDC pilot. They've been working on it since last year, really, and that's when they first publicly announced it. And big companies like Visa, Microsoft, and so on are going to be part of their Brazilian CBDC, which is actually going to come next month. Yeah, next month. Let's see where they wrote that. June, the middle of June. So it's crazy. So CBDCs are coming very, very fast. It's no longer like, once CBDCs are coming, or CBDCs this and that, or no, they're not going to come. No, they're coming. All the countries are working on CBDCs. So that's why you should look into Monero if you haven't. Take a look, learn about privacy and all these things, because it's not going to be a good future with the CBDC. And the last thing that I want to discuss is, this is more pertaining to freedom, not necessarily to CBDCs. Of course, I mean that ties also in it, but New York City Mayor Adam wants to track and limit household consumption of meat and dairy. Now, we're not going to discuss nutrition, what's good, not eating meat, eat red meat. We're not going to discuss that. That's beyond of the show. There's many other podcasts and things that if you want to learn more about it. But what I'm going to say is that it's very easy for the government to not educate the population and to just put a cage of the things that you can or cannot do. And when you try to reach for something, they just slap your hand instead of actually educating you. Like, for example, we need social media education. Social media is a great thing, but a lot of people use it in negative ways, and they just brainwash themselves, and endlessly on TikTok and all these things. If you're on TikTok, you can have educational content that you can watch, Instagram. If you go on my Instagram, for example, I learn things all the time. And there's things that actually motivate me, and just not brainwashing. And if I ever get anything, I just unfollow, or I just do something about it. So they don't want you to have a higher education, because when they educate you about facts, then if normal human beings are going to make decisions for themselves, and they don't want to have that. They want to basically put you in a safety box. The government is going to take care of you. Just like the stimulus checks, we're going to send you money, don't worry, and they want to track everything that you do. You can buy this, you can buy that, and you can't say anything. So this is where we are headed. We are working hard, over here to not have that, of course, but it's going to require everybody to be against it. So. This was this week's news section, everybody. If you want to send me links ever to discuss, you can send it on Twitter, Telegram, and all the links are in the description. And have a good week, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Bye.
Sweet.
All right. Yeah. Those links to those videos are in the description. So like the 2 ones on Twitter he showed.
Sweet. Yeah, we'll have to in the future make sure we can play the videos in the thing, but I guess because of the way he was recording it, that's fine though.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch it beforehand.
No
and I
worries,
guess he's having trouble with his audio. So
great job today, Tux. Greatly appreciate you hopping in and grabbing the
craziness.
Helm. Yeah, no, you did a great job today. MB. Any? Yes. I guess we'll wrap it up here. Any last things you want to throw out there? Anything? Any comments at all? Anything on your mind?
Have I shielded my plushie yet? You can now buy it. It's been shipped.
Show it, stream it.
Yes,
sure.
That's at monerosupplies.com, right?
Yeah.
Share your screen. Let's get it up. Where'd you have this thing manufactured?
In Shenzhen.
Oh wow. Okay, cool.
It's this one that you can get it with like normal pack or the Supreme pack, where you get more stickers and also the acrylic figurine.
I love it. Are you gonna have these at MoneroKon?
If they haven't sold out by then, I might bring a few.
Sweet.
People have already been posting some pictures. Let me see. Of the ones that they received. So people posting how they Oh yeah, and they come with a little certificate.
Oh, no way.
So they are numbered.
Okay.
And they are like, how's it called? So when the first guy who bought one got the number 1, and the next guy got the 2, and like that. So there's no, I didn't reserve any cool numbers for myself or anything like that.
You didn't keep number 1?
Yeah, no, I got the sample, the production sample, that is the number 0. So I have that. Yeah.
I'm sure much better margins than the Monero Nodo. So kudos.
I have actually looked into doing a node thing like 2 years ago already, and I thought that I don't want to buy that much hardware, have it lying around.
I would show mine, but I don't have it with me right now.
Cost. Oh, you have a Monero? You have a plush doll?
Yes, I did. I did.
What do you mean you did?
I bought one. I bought a MoneroKon plush. Yes.
Okay. It made it sound like you lost it or something.
No, it's at home. I'm not home right now.
Okay.
It ran away.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually a very it's a little bit expensive, but it is a very high quality plush. I was impressed. It was like kind of like a split second thing. I was like, oh, this is probably gonna sell that. This is really cool. It's like a Monero memorabilia, and so I just bought it. Probably wasn't the wisest decision to make, but I will say it is a very nice plush.
Yeah. What is the story, man, behind the Monerokon?
What's the story behind the whole character? So in 2014, how do I do this without messing anything up? Crypto. Oh yeah, in 2015, there was this. For 2014, there was this website. It has to go to Japan. So they made like these characters, and then they had a Monero one. They still have it, but it's like the only one they don't show for some reason.
Oh, so somebody on that website created Monerokon?
Yeah, they have a few different. I think it's just /Monero.
And what other crypto?
So they created this one.
Wow. That's how it started. Wow. So
and then someone else
by a Japanese. What? That's awesome.
So that's actually some kind of Japanese site, huh?
Yeah, this hasn't been updated in years. So someone just made these, and then someone took that design and refined it a little bit, and that's how it got started. Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's cool.
What else you got on MoneroSupplies.com?
Actually, let me reload. Oh no, the store notice is gone. I had a notice because those stickers are currently on back order because
I have a bunch of those. I think we got them from you. I don't know.
Yeah, I can attest to the quality of the stickers. Very good price for the amount of stickers you get. Very awesome.
Yeah, so we have this design, this one, and the regular one. I'm looking into different ones as well, and I'm working on something right now. It's not done yet, but if you have something that you want to sell, you might be able to in the future list it on here as well.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. All right. Yeah, guys, I guess we should just put it out there. Go to it's MoneroKon.com, right? To get MoneroKon tickets?
Yeah.
MoneroKon.com. We have a code for a discount code. It's MoneroKon23. And I think you get 23% off. So go ahead and use that. And I think we'll wrap it up there, guys.
All right, is that it?
That's it. I think we're well over 2 hours. Well, it was a good one today. And hold on, I'm just going to put discount code Monero.
Oh, I think I just did.
23. Oh, okay, cool. MB, thank you so much for coming on. See you in Prague. Hopefully, there'll be a plush there that I could check out.
And you can already reserve them if you want to.
Okay. Tux, man, great job today. Appreciate
it. Thanks for having me on.
And we'll see everybody next week, same time, Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Tux, if you want to close it out, play the final clip, and we'll call it a day.
All right. Good to talk to you guys.
Thank you for joining us on this week's Monerotopia episode. We stream live shows every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. You can find and subscribe to our show on YouTube and Odyssey, or listen to the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or Stitcher. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter or join us in the Monerotopia Telegram group. See you all next week.